to another green marble crochet tutorial. For this tutorial I wanted to quickly run through making the Jasmine stitch with you because I'm going to be incorporating that stitch into the following tutorial, which is going to be a little experimental summer top design that I've been working on. So we're going to be doing that, and also I wanted to make this little sort of how-to video on the stitch because if you haven't made it before it can be a little complicated. It takes a little bit of practice to get used to. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Yes. Oh, I'm going to be using this yarn, which for some reason the labels in Spain on the yarns don't really have a ply at all. So I think this is like a sort of medium to thick worsted weight yarn. It recommends using an 8 to a 9mm hook, but I'm going to be using a 10 because I'm going to be using a bigger hook because I think it'll be easier for you to see what I'm doing. And I also recommend that if this is your first time doing the stitch, use a bigger hook because it'll be easier to get used to it and practice it and stuff like that. So yes, we're going to be doing that, and then when it comes time to do the top, we're all going to know what we're doing and we're all going to have a really good time. Yeah. Alright, so I don't think there's much else to say. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a like. Thank you to my patrons. I love and I appreciate you very much, and thank you for believing in me, and thank you for supporting my channel. It means the world to me. Also, if you haven't subscribed but you would like to subscribe, please feel free to subscribe to join me for some more tutorials. I'd love to have you join me. I don't really think there's anything else to say. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you find it useful. I feel like if you can do the Jasmine stitch, you can do anything. Crochet wise, I mean. But yeah, once you get used to it, it'll be fine. Alright, we should just get started. Alright, now to begin, we're going to set the skein aside for a second. We're going to find the end of our yarn and we're going to make a slip knot. So to make a slip knot, you just loop it around your fingers like this and then pull the other end through for a slip knot. Okay, now adjusting the knot to the hook, we're going to chain 2. So 1 and 2. Now for this chain, or for the loop on the hook, pull it loose so that you've got a loose loop on your hook. Then yarn over, insert the hook back into the first chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. And making sure you keep your fingers on these 2 loops so they don't bunch up. You're going to pull that new loop as loose as the other, so you've got 3 loose loops on the hook. Now, our next step is to yarn over, but you're going to hold on to this new loop as you pull it through the other 3. And then the bit that you're holding on to, you're going to go in with your hook through that loop, yarn over, pull up another loop, yarn over, single crochet. And there you've completed 1 puff. Now, you're going to chain 1 and pull that loop loose. Then yarn over, and you're going to insert your hook into that single crochet, into the middle of that single crochet that you did before. Yarn over, pull up a loop, so there's 3 loose loops on the hook. Then yarn over, and holding on to that new loop, you're going to pull it through those 3 loose loops. Then insert hook through that loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, single crochet. Now chaining 1, we're going to do 4 of these puffs. So chaining 1, pull that loop loose, yarn over, insert your hook into that single crochet from before, yarn over, pull up a loop, so there's 3 loose loops on the hook, yarn over, then holding on to this new loop, you're going to pull it through those 3, then insert your hook through that loose loop or through the loop that you're holding, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, single crochet. Then what have we got? We're going to do 1 more, so chain 1, pull the loose loop loose, yarn over, into the single crochet, pull up another loose loop, yarn over, holding the new loop, pull it through the 3, then into the last loop, single crochet. So there we go, we've got four puffs, 4 puffs to begin with. So that's what that's going to look like. Now there's always going to be a turning puff. So, alright, now for the next row we're going to do we'll call it our turning puff. So chaining 1 with a loose loop, yarn over into the single crochet, yarn over, pull up another loose loop. So there's 3 on the hook. Let's make that 3 on the hook, yarn over, then holding onto that last loop, pull it through those 3, then yarn beneath that loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, single crochet. And this is the turning one. Now we're going to start another puff, but we're not going to finish it. So by that I mean chain 1, pull it loose, yarn over into the single crochet, pull up another loose loop, but leave it like that on the hook. Now what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over, keeping all these loops as loose as we can. We're going to go into the single crochet before this one that we've just gone into. So next single crochet along, this one here, yarn over, pull up a loose loop, then yarn over and into that same single crochet, yarn over, pull up a loose loop. So you do that twice into that single crochet. Then moving to the next one, we yarn over, we go into the next single crochet along, yarn over, pull up a loop. We do that twice, so yarn over, pull up another loop. Then yarn over and holding on to that new loop that we've just made, we're going to pull it through all these loops just here. So how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 11 loops just there, yarn over, we're holding on to that loop just there at the end, and then pull that loop through all of those 11 loops. Then on that, into that one that you're holding on to, insert your hook beneath that loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, single crochet, all those loops together. And there's the first half of this Jasmine puff. Alright, so chain 1 and pull it loose, then yarn over, going into the single crochet just here, yarn over, pull up a loop, but don't finish it. Then yarn over and moving into the next single crochet along, yarn over, pull up a loose loop, yarn over and pull up a loose loop. Then moving on to the next single crochet along, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loose loop, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loose loop. Then yarn over and pulling through, holding on to that loop that you've just made, pull through all the loops on the hook and going into that loop, single crochet them all together, just like that. Now, I'm going to leave you to do the next one. I think there's only one left. We'll do it till the end of the row. Once we've done that, we'll meet back up and I'll show you how to start the next row. So here I am on the last one at the end of the row, and I'm just going to show you, we're going to go into, for the end of the row, into that beginning chain. So yarn over, pull up a loose loop, insert, yarn over, pull up a loose loop, then yarn over, and holding onto that last loop, pull it through all of those loops on the hook. Then insert your hook into that loop and single crochet all of those together. So there you go. That's what our first row is going to look like. So to start the next row, you're going to chain 1, pull it loose, and remember we start every row with a turning puff. So we're just going to do one complete puff. So like this, we're going to turn, but you've got that loose loop, yarn over, insert into the single crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, holding onto that loop, pull through the 3 loops, insert into that loop, single crochet, those loops together. Alright, now that we've done our turning puff, we're going to start another puff. So chain 1, pull the loop loose, then yarn over, insert into the single crochet, pull up another loop but don't finish it, then yarn over and moving on to keep those loose, yarn over, moving on to the next single crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull up a loop, then yarn over, moving on to the next single crochet, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, some more yarn here, whoops, and then for another one, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop. So you've got all those loops on the hook, yarn over, and holding on to that loop, that new loop that you've made, you're going to pull that loop through all of these loops on the hook. And then inserting into that loop, yarn over, single crochet, all those loops together. Like that. There we go. Alright, so moving on to the next one, it's yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, pull up another loose loop, yarn over, moving on to the next single crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up another loop, so twice, then yarn over, moving to the next single crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then once again, yarn over, pull up a loop, so you do it twice, then yarn over and holding on to that loop that you've just made, pull it through all of those loops on the hook, like this, then single crochet using that loop that you were holding on to, all those loops together. There we go. And then we've got a star, or a jasmine puff. Alright, let's do the rest of the row. So chain 1, pull loose, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop into that single crochet, then yarn over and moving on to the next single crochet long, yarn over, pull up a loop, again yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, moving on to the next single crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and again pull up a loop, then yarn over, and try not to break things. Oh, I'm gonna have to move this out of the way. I don't have more room on my desk. Okay, then where am I? Yarn over and holding on to the last loop that you make, pull that loop through all of those loops on the hook. So pulling through all of those loops, just like that. Then using that last loop that you were holding on to, yarn over, single crochet all those loops together. And there we go. We've got another jasmine puff, and then we'll do the last one together. But after this, I'm going to finish my swatch that I'm doing here. But I hope this has been, okay, so yarn over, pulling it loose. I'll just do this. I hope this has been, easy enough to follow. I know it's a fairly complicated stitch, but if you practice it enough, believe me, you'll get used to it. It's not as complicated as it seems. Okay, so just making sure you go into that last single crochet right at the end. So that's just there. See, that's why I said using a bigger hook was going to be easier to start with, because it's so much easier to see what you're doing and so much easier to hold on to these bigger loops as opposed to smaller, more fiddly ones, which can be a little challenging, but that's okay. So yarn over and single crochet all of those loops together, and there you go. There you've made some jasmine flowers, and that's what that's going to look like. So yes, we'll be incorporating this into the experimental singlet coming up next, and I'm really excited to be sharing that with you. I hope this has been useful. Like I said, this is just going to be brief. I hope that you were able to follow easily enough. If you've watched to the end, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you for my next tutorial when we'll be using this in something that we can wear. Alright, see you soon. Thanks for watching.